Lakshya, Dheya, target, achievements, goals. These are all different words to describe the same phenomenon. The phenomenon of taking big or small, consistent steps every day that would get you closer to an ultimate goal. These are the things that give meaning to your life, they give enrichment to your life, and you experience a state of happiness upon having achieved it. Needless to say, most of us struggle with maintaining the consistency to reach our goals. Things like procrastination, things like emotional problems, mental health problems, environmental problems, all can act as obstacles on our way to achieving those goals. So in today's Music Meets Psychology episode, we are going to be looking at a song that is going to speak about the rationale or the kind of mindset that a person can have on the journey of achieving these goals. This song is from the movie Lakshya. It's the title song sung by Shankar Mahadevan, and apart from the song, the entire movie is just beautiful. So if you haven't watched it, go ahead and watch it. To all the people who are new to the channel, do hit the subscribe button if you like the content of my channel, and if you're an old viewer, thank you so much for giving me your time. So without much further ado, let's start. हाँ यही रास्ता है तेरा, तूने अब जाना है। हाँ यही सपना है तेरा, तूने पहचाना है। तुझे अब ये दिखाना है, रोके तुझको आंधियाँ या जमीन और आसमां, पाएगा जो लक्ष्य है तेरा। लक्ष्य तो हर हाल में पाना है। So right off the bat, the song basically describes the journey of someone who has now realized what their goal is, and oftentimes this is where we struggle the most into understanding what it is that we exactly want to pursue. And then once we do find it, like it's mentioned in the song, that you know your road, you know your dream. Once we do find it, however, we spend a lot of time into contemplating how to go about it. We keep doubting our abilities. We keep saying to ourselves that once I am prepared to this level, then I'll start working on it. And most of us get stuck in that phase for a really long time, and that is where the song also says that तुझे अब ये दिखाना है. So just thinking or planning for your goal is not going to be enough unless you start taking some small action towards it. So the song gives out this very powerful message in the first few lines, that you know what your aim is, now start working on it. Throughout the song, we actually see different obstacles that an individual can face on the way to achieving that goal. And of course, from the movie's point of view, this talks about the problems that a soldier, the mental and the physical troubles that a soldier faces while at war. But of course, in daily life, we don't find ourselves relating to those obstacles. No, the obstacles that we face most are the ones that I mentioned earlier in the video, that procrastination is something that I see so many times with myself and also with other individuals or my patients in my practice. And then the emotional problems or mental health concerns are definitely big obstacles to achieving goals. So these are the things that we are up against at this point. And towards the end of the video, I will be sharing 5 quick tips for you to actually start working on your goals and to be consistent in them. These are techniques that I have tried and tested out with myself, so I know for a fact that they work. So let's look at the rest of the song and then we'll talk about the tips quickly. मुश्किल कोई आ जाए तो, पर्वत कोई टकराए तो, ताकत कोई दिखलाए तो, तूफान कोई मंडराए तो, मुश्किल कोई आ जाए तो, पर्वत कोई टकराए तो, बरसे चाहे अंबर से आग, लिपटे चाहे पैरों से लाख, बरसे चाहे अंबर से आग, लिपटे चाहे पैरों से लाख, पाएगा जो लक्ष्य है तेरा, लक्ष्य तो हर हाल में पाना है। हो हिम्मत से जो कोई चले, धरती हिले कदमों तले, क्या दूरियां क्या फासले, मंजिल लगे आके गले, हिम्मत से जो कोई चले, धरती हिले कदमों तले, तू चल यूं ही अब सुबह शाम, रुकना झुकना नहीं तेरा काम, तू चल यूं ही अब सुबह शाम, रुकना झुकना नहीं तेरा काम, पाएगा जो लक्ष्य है तेरा, लक्ष्य तो हर हाल में पाना है। हाँ यही रास्ता है तेरा, तूने अब जाना है, हाँ यही सपना है तेरा, तूने पहचाना है, तुझे अब ये दिखाना है, रोके तुझको आंधिया या जमीन और आसमां, पाएगा जो लक्ष्य है तेरा, लक्ष्य तो हर हाल में पाना है, लक्ष्य तो हर हाल में पाना है। So the song takes us through all the various kinds of obstacles that a person can face, and then in the second stanza it gives out a very hopeful message, where it says that on the days where you feel hopeless, on the days where you feel restless as to when you will reach your goal, remember that as soon as you start taking those steps, before you know it, the goal itself will come closer to you. And I think we all need this hope every once in a while, right? That it may be a physical fitness goal, or it may be an academic goal, or it just may be the goal to get up every day, to have the tasks which you have planned on, and to be productive. In all these goals, we all face the same obstacles. I think it's a common experience for all of us to feel low, to feel demotivated on few days. So on those days, I think these lines can really help us to actually start moving again. And then the song once again speaks about how you should never stop working on your goal. Now here I would want to give out a slightly different message. So the line says rukna jhukna nahi tera kaam, but increasingly we are seeing that individuals or professionals are not taking enough rest. They are not actually giving themselves time to take a breather before continuing their work on the goal. So I would say that if you want to take a pause, do take a pause. If you want to take a rest, do take it, because that is a part of working towards your goal. We never see rest as something that we need to achieve a goal, and that is the whole hustle culture that is increasingly becoming problematic for all of us, because it is leading to so much burnout. So here is where I would like to give out a slightly different interpretation of the lines, that if you want to take a break, go ahead and take it, as long as you are coming back in the game, as long as you are rejuvenated and you are coming back with double the force. That is actually a good way to keep pursuing your goal. So that was it for the interpretation of the song. Now quickly giving out 5 tips that you can work on to actually keep working on your goal. The very first one is breaking down your goal into easier achievable steps. So what happens with the most of us is we keep very vague or big goals in front of us, without taking the time to pause and ask yourself, if I had to work on this today, what would be the first thing that I would do for it? And this is essentially the process of breaking down a goal into smaller steps. So very quickly, let's take the example of fitness. Let's say that my ultimate goal is to have a stamina that would allow me to run for an hour, let's say. So what would be my first smallest step that I can do? How can I break down that goal? Is to actually start running every day for 10 minutes or at least 15 minutes so that my stamina builds up. So the moment you break your goals down to small achievable steps, the goal becomes much more realistic. The second tip is to actually announce it to the people closest to you so that you have an accountability partner. So if you slack off on a day and you feel like you are not able to come back from a break to actually start working on it again, you always have someone by your side reminding you that, hey, this is where we are right now and this is how you have to proceed. So make an accountability partner if possible. It could be a friend, it could be your wife or your husband or even your parents. The third tip is to actually grade the activity in 3 different types. So on the days, the first one is on the days where I'm feeling really on top of my game, I'm highly motivated, these are the particular things that I will do that will help me achieve my goal. On the days where I am not doing that great, but I'm not either low or completely demotivated, then there would be a different set of activities. And then on the low days where I find myself really struggling to start working on my goal, then these will be the bare minimum things that I do. What happens with this gradation is that we don't get stuck in all or nothing thinking that either I'll work on my goal 100% or I'll not work on it at all. The moment you grade it down, you actually make it more easier for you to start working on them or even continuing to work on them. The fourth tip will be to schedule in routine breaks. I cannot emphasize on this enough because I myself have experienced what happens when you constantly keep going without taking breaks. So schedule in breaks to your day, to your goal in that entire process. And then the final tip would be to actually find out ways to measure your progress, because that's very important, right? So in terms of running, looking at the previous example, a very good measurement can be, am I crossing the same distance in a lesser time than I did before? So the moment you measure your progress, you are able to actually know where you are working well and also know where you want to amp up the efforts. So there you go. These were the 5 quick tips for you to actually start working on your goals and to continue working on them. With that, I'll take your leave for this video. Stay tuned on the channel for more videos for mental health. And if you found this video helpful, I would be much grateful if you could share it with your friends and family. I'm your talking therapist Ishwari Marathe and I'll see you soon. Till then, take care. Bye-bye.